Today the topic is tiny choices, big results. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have all the luck and get all the breaks? How everything that they seem to touch turns to gold? There's a reason, or should I say a million small reasons. On the other hand, have you known people who seem to have squandered their lives or feel that they've squandered their lives? People who live as spectators, pressing their face against the glass of life, only to watch other people enjoying themselves. But it's really something that they want. And there's also a reason, or should I say, a million tiny reasons. See, life is all about choices, and seldom does one bad choice ruin a life. No more than one good choice typically brings about success. It's the thousands of tiny decisions, the hundreds of micro decisions we make each day, and the next, which bring us to the brink of success or failure. Tiny choices bring big results. 2 Corinthians 10:5 from the Voice says, "We are demolishing arguments and ideas, every high and mighty philosophy that pits itself against the knowledge of the one true God. We are taking prisoners of every thought, every emotion, and subduing them into obedience to the Anointed One." See, these daily choices, these dichotomies of decision, these controlled contradictions of thought, these deep-rooted philosophies are what shape our lives. It's those hundreds and hundreds of small choices that we make every day, whether to do things a little bit better or just keep things the same, which slowly shape our lives. Tiny choices over time bring big results. Invest in yourself. While flying back from California last week, I was looking out the small airplane window and I noticed the ground below. I saw the deep brown ravines and ancient rivers and small dry creek beds. Each of these features had been carved out of the earth over a long period of time by water moving soil, engraving its relentless path deep into the rock-hard earth. And this is exactly how successful lives are built. Like one good rain didn't form the Grand Canyon, it's unlikely that one great deed that we do is going to make us a success. A successful person is made up of hundreds of seemingly imperceptible positive choices every day. They just get so good at it that they don't even notice it anymore. But we do. Like faithfully funding a monthly investment plan, those choices, compounded over time, make a huge difference. Did you know that if a person started investing when they were 25 years old and faithfully funded that investment for 10 years, and only 10 years, and then stopped, that at 65 years old, they would have more money in their investment than somebody who started at 35 years of age and invested for 30 years. Now, how could somebody who only invested for 10 years have more than a person who invested for 30 years? And the answer is really the miracle of compounded interest. And this is my point today. Tiny choices, tiny investments in ourselves over time bring huge results. If you're looking for magic to happen, it isn't going to. It's the little things that we do over and over and over that make all the difference in the world. If they're good choices, our life's going to get, as the kids would say, gooder. You see? If they're poor choices, or if they're the same choices, our life's going to stay the same or get worse. See, it works in any and every area of our life. It also works for the positive as well as the negative. We're aware of that. Take the compound interest of your own life. Take an interest in your own life and compound that interest. Add to it every single day, hour upon hour. Being nicer to somebody, smiling an extra time, saying one nice thing, sending a nice text, doing something, reading something, listening to something better. Do something to improve your life better than you did the day before. And in time, you will be a different person. You'll be the person you've always dreamed of being. You know, on the negative side, an example I've used before, but you know, Josephine and I had a friend live with us, and this guy had told me a few times that every male in his family dies before they're 55. And his mom had told him that, his sisters had told him that his whole childhood, and all his aunts told him that. All the men died before they're 55. And he lived with us till he was 54, and then he moved out and moved to go stay with somebody else. But how old do you think he was when he died? He was actually 54. He died before he was 55. How many men in that family had those women talked into dying early? All of them. If you can choose the year of your death, you can choose the year of your blessing. You just got to repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Do something every day to make it happen. That's a negative one. But speaking of investing in ourselves, let's take a look at the top 3 goals of most North Americans. And don't tell anybody, but these are also typically on everybody's prayer list. And it's lose weight, get in shape, make more money. Or health and money, if you want to boil it down. Health and money. We just prayed about that earlier. You know, it's always going to be there. Regarding health, now staying healthy will include losing weight and getting back in shape. And these are going to be examples I'm going to use on this compounded interest in ourselves and how it works. And these are really 1 and 2 in the goal setting scheme. Lose weight, get in shape. And the reason losing weight and getting in shape seem to remain at the top of our goal/prayer list is because they require a change in personal philosophy. A change in ethos, in our personal ethos. A complete lifestyle makeover. That's why they call them yo-yo diets and all these things. You know, people get a gym membership, get rid of the gym membership. They get another one. They keep trying year after year after year. If we're not hitting our goals, there's a reason. And the reason is always us. And it's not that we don't know what to do. We just don't do it faithful enough. We want it to all of a sudden happen. We want to be skinny. We want to have big arms after working out one time. We want to have the greatest job in the world when we're 20. It usually doesn't work that way. It's just incremental changes. Sort of like the legend of Mila we talked about the other week. See, we want that weight off right now. See, we're not patient people. It can't happen fast enough. You know, we want that super fast fad diet, that Hollywood diet that all the actors and actresses are on. We once again join that gym. We buy that special brand of running shoes that make us run faster and jump higher. You know, not to mention the new smart watch or fitness band that keeps track of our every movement and then records it on our smartphone. We want our health back. This multi-billion-dollar industry is so lucrative because most people don't stick with what they know helps them. This forces us to keep starting over and spending more and more and more of our money. Historically, in the last, I'd say 50 years, most Americans, there's a 5% success rate in these things, in goal keeping. It's a 95% about failure rate, about 95%. And the same thing is with successful people. Basically on earth, there's about 5% of the population would be considered successful. I don't mean happy, I'm talking about successful. They've really reached their goals. They did something, they did what they wanted to do with their life. And that's different for every person. Which means 95% of the people flounder. Why? What I'm teaching today is exactly why. Now we're going to switch to weight loss. This will help. Now, will one cookie make you gain weight? No. But one cookie every day, every single day, could that add to your weight? It probably will. It's the same thing with getting rich or saving money. Will putting in $100 make you rich? No. But if you put in 100 every week, and it's a whole different animal then, isn't it? Or month. You see? It's what we do when no one's looking that tells us where we're at with our ethics, our personal philosophy. If we do things that we don't want other people to see, why? You're only cheating yourself. Eating that piece of pie you know you shouldn't have at the truck stop, you know? Whatever it is. Getting that double, triple Whopper burger, with double supersized fries and a big gulp and all. I mean, you may like that stuff, but eventually it's going to do something. So, it all adds up. See, weight gain is not the type of personal savings account that we want. Every cheat is a tiny deposit into our personal weight gain savings account. Oh, no one sees this. One cookie doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't. But one every day does. The people who stay trim are the ones who've incrementally reprogrammed their eating habits and recalibrated their eating ethos. Losing weight is an everyday habit. Day after day, year after year, but losing weight is about as sexy as a disciplined monthly savings schedule. It's methodical. It's every cookie passing it up. I'm not saying never to. I'm just saying it can't be. We just have to take control of our own selves, invest in ourselves. Losing weight and getting in shape are boring, especially when the newness wears off, when you get tired of wearing that fit band, when you get tired of those new running shoes, they get mud on them, like mine did yesterday. But just keep it up. Stick with it on a daily basis and you're going to see long-term results. If you stick with it on a daily basis and you try to keep track of every decision that you're making, you will see the results you've been dreaming of. Invest in yourself. Now, staying in shape. You see, it's equally as hard as losing weight, as most of us know. We're no longer a culture that walks everywhere. We drive. People drive to their mailbox. Most researchers say that walking 10,000 steps a day constitutes a healthy lifestyle, and that 5,000 or less means you're sedentary. And 10,000 steps a day equivocates to 5 miles a day. 5 miles a day. And most people don't get it. Most Americans don't get that unless they live in a city or they don't have a car. You got to work to do that. That's a couple of 20-minute walks a day, to get that. Maybe more, you see. Walking burns as many calories as running. It just takes longer. And walking doesn't require recuperation days. It doesn't require those off days, or it doesn't require special gear. You can walk in anything. So it's something great. Those fitness trackers have helped 1 in 5 Americans get motivated to start a daily walking regimen. Except for about half of those end up in a junk drawer within a few months because people lose interest. It's just a bad habit we've gotten into. If you want to lose weight, you want to get in shape, it's something you have to do something every day. Control what you eat, control what you drink, control what you do. And, I work next to a huge corporate engineering firm. It's a great big building here in Colorado Springs, and I see their employees walking all over the place all day long. I see they're walking fools. Then I ask one time, they get bonuses for how many miles they walk a week. Yeah. I saw one walk the other day, duck behind, a guy and a girl duck behind a tree and start smoking. So they're just, so I guess whatever trips your trigger, they need to build up a head of steam, I guess. When I lived in Tokyo in the 60s, I saw factory workers doing group directed calisthenics in the parking lot every day before work. And this helped curtail workplace injuries and absenteeism. So they had that figured out in the 60s. A lot of people, you go to the gym in the morning, it's packed. So people are learning on their own to do that. Some companies have gyms within their big buildings, because they want healthy employees. Then they're not sick, and then they don't die as early. There's a lot of reasons. See, now if you have been injured, or you don't feel well, or you're getting up there in age, ask your doctor or your therapist, or ask somebody if there's something you can do to invest in your own health. There's always something that could be done through diet and or exercise. But these are just the little things. If we keep praying about wanting to lose weight, we keep praying about getting in shape, yet every day, every year, it's the same thing. It's something wrong in our ethics and our personal philosophy. You see, our mental DNA. We have got to change. And typically, we're just not faithful. We don't stick with it long enough. When it comes to weight training, CrossFit training, biking, or running, it's always wise, if you haven't been doing it, to start slow and then build momentum. Do a little bit more, add a little bit more, do something. If you haven't walked, and you're just hearing this and you want to get going, then just get started. Heck, walk around your house. Walk up and down the stairs in your house if it's bad weather. Do something. Build the momentum. If you can only do one push-up, great. Some people can't do one. Well, then maybe the next day try to do 2. And then next week try to do 3 or 4. Just a little bit at a time. It'll all add up. You're not going to be buff with one push-up or one good meal and you think everything's good. You go to the gym one time. We Americans, we want it fast. We want to take a pill that makes us look like Superman or Wonder Woman, but it doesn't happen that way. It took time to put it on. It's going to take time to get it off. But all this will help our mind, and all this pertains to everything. You want a better marriage? Then do something nicer with your wife, or say something nice to your wife more times that day. And the next day, every day, double it. Do something more. Smile an extra time or 2 during the day. Do something. At work, do one more extra thing. If you have a service job, do a little more than they ask you to. Clean up your space or clean somebody else's space. Do something more. It all adds up. It's all our personal ethos. It's the difference between a champion and somebody who's a wannabe. See, tiny choices over time bring big results. Now, regaining one's health by losing weight and getting in shape are the top yearly goals of most North Americans, followed closely by making money. So we're going to talk now about financial fitness. And the reason I'm bringing these up, this is not a motivational seminar. You see, I'm not that good. You see, what this is I hear this stuff in prayers all the time. I see it on people's goal sheets all the time. And if we keep praying for the same thing and we're not getting it, there has to be a problem. And it always starts with us. We haven't disciplined ourselves to do something every day. Now, one of the top 3 American prayer goals, again, is financial fitness. And how many financial prayers go unanswered because we're unwilling to do our part? We think it should just magically happen. We want God to supernaturally just throw money into our pocket. Boom, bam, but it doesn't usually happen that way. It's that four-letter word, work. You know, it just doesn't work that way. You know, prayer is teamwork. Prayer should be teamwork. Does God already know what we need before we ask? Yes. Yeah, Matthew 6:8 says that. He said that he already knows what we need before we ask. So why pray? Well, prayer isn't really for God, it's for us. It's one of his secret ways of getting us to set goals, to focus on something. You know, we're the ones who need to focus on our finances. You know, prayer, God said he supplied all our need. And so if he's already done his part, what are we doing to make that happen? That's the breakdown. And it's all about our thought life. It's what we read, what we listen to. It all adds up. It's all compounded interest. You know, prayer helps us focus. Prayer is goal setting 101. Just like God can't make you lose weight. You ever seen that happen? God doesn't make people lose weight, so God ain't going to make you rich. It's not his job. He's already given everything. He's done it. Maybe you'll find 20 blowing down the street, but that's not rich. Maybe you'll win the lottery. If you haven't prepared your mind on how to handle finances, you will lose it within 7 years. It's proven. Almost everybody, 6-7 years is gone. And usually their lives are worse because they haven't developed the ability to get things done financially. It's a habit pattern. It's a lifestyle. It's everything. We keep praying for this stuff. Let's start getting it now. And I'm going to show you a few tricks here, a few tips. See, we have to be involved in our own financial fitness plan. I know some people have the stand-up desks. I have one. I got inspired by her, you know. And so I don't sit down all day, you know, when I'm at work. Unless I got to spread papers all over the place. But that helps. Then it sort of adds to your walking. It's healthier. You know, we're not designed to sit in chairs. That's how people have so many back problems. You know, the ancient cultures didn't have backs, backs of chairs. They squatted, they sat down on their knees, you know, however they did it, but they didn't sit like we do. It's just different. It's those tiny habits of not spending, of incremental savings and investing, of living within your means that add up over time. I can hear what you're thinking. Boring. It is boring. Everything that's worthwhile ends up being boring. It takes a lot of time to make a relationship good. It takes a lot of time to make your finances good. It takes a lot of boring, incremental work and avoiding things to lose weight. It's boring. But the people who can put up with that boredom are the ones who are successful. To invest a portion of your salary every month into your retirement account is a must if you want a healthy retirement. And did you know that most of those millionaires in your neighborhood, and yes, they are in your neighborhood, they invest between 10 and 20% of their income every paycheck? They almost all do. Hardly any millionaire it's inherited. It's almost all earned, just time, a little bit at a time. It's paycheck after paycheck, month after month after month of doing this. And they learn to live around what's left over. You think, oh, I couldn't give 20%. Well, you know, a lot of Christians give 10% or more. So put another 10% on top of that. You'll figure it out. You may have to cut something back. Now, I thought about this. We have 24 hours in a day, right? Let's say you slept 8. So you have 16 waking hours in a day. 10% of that is about 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Now, only a serious athlete would invest 90 minutes a day to their health. a millionaire is a serious financial athlete. If you worked out an hour and a half every day, would you be in better shape? Of course you would. So what if you did 10% of your income and invest in you? Who else is going to take care of you someday? The government? Snicker, snicker. You see? I mean, it's time, folks. If you hear yourself praying every day for more money, a better job, or financial abundance, you may want to look at your daily routine. What are you doing all day long? And it will tell you. Actually, you already know all the points you're failing on. You already know. We all know. See, something may be amiss in our financial philosophy, like losing weight and getting back in shape is going to take daily discipline. No cheating to get back into financial shape works the same. There's no cheating. Especially if you're just getting back into it. Like if you just start losing weight, you got to be more strict, right? A lot more strict than after you've already hit your target weight. Then you can cheat a couple of times. You might have a cheat meal or something a week. But you understand that point. Now I'm going to tell you a story that I've heard a few times over the past couple of years. And I'll call it the choice of a penny or $1 million. If you were offered $1 million right now, or you could choose starting out with one single penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days, which would you choose? $1 million right now, or one penny that doubles every day for 31 days? Now, most people would take the cool million. A bird in hand is better than two in the bush, right? Yeah, it's right there. It's $1 million. But if you do the math, the penny option is the clear winner. And I'm going to run the numbers real quick for you. First, on day 1, 1 cent. Day 2, 2 cents. Day 3, 4 cents. Day 4, 8 cents. Day 5, 16 cents. It's not looking so good yet, folks. Day 10, you're up to a whopping $5.12. That $1 million is starting to look better. I wonder if I made the right decision. So then we're going to jump on down to day 20. Day 20, that penny has flipped into $5,242.88. But it's still only $5,243. That's still a long way from $1 million. Now on day 25, the magic is beginning to happen. Now we're at $167,772. That's that penny, and its value doubling every day. At day 27, it's $671,000. Day 28 is $1,242,177. So it's up there. You finally reached $1 million. On day 29, it's $2,680,000. On day 31, that penny turns into $10,737,418.24. Do the math. Saving a little bit at a time adds up. It works great in every aspect of life, not just financial. Works in your health, works in your relationship, works in anything. In your yard. If you did one thing to your yard every day, you'd have a great yard in a couple of years. If you did one thing to your house every week, just one task, you spend one evening, you'd have the greatest house you could even imagine. A little bit at a time adds up. It works in anything, not just the financial. Smile a little bit more every day. You see? Say one more nice thing to someone and then double it the next day. I'm going to say 2 nice things to her tomorrow, when she walks past my cubicle, and, whatever it is, just add a little bit more weight. Do something more. Walk for 16 minutes instead of 15 minutes. Pretty soon, these will just be scheduled into your life. It'll become habitual. And you won't just keep wishing that you had done it. You won't keep praying for finances. You're going to have it. You won't just keep praying to lose weight and to get in shape. You're going to be in shape. You will have lost that weight. Email those people tomorrow. Call them. Text them. Do a little bit more every day to bless somebody else. It's the same thing. It just adds up, adds up, adds up, adds up. Pretty soon we're a better person. We're thinking better. We're acting better. We're living better. And everything just starts following that. It's like a wake behind a boat. It just follows you. You ever seen cars go down the street, where there are leaves had fallen and the leaves start following that car for a little bit? That's what happened. All that good starts following you. See, refuse those fries or those sugary snacks, once or twice a day. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Then we may not have to keep praying about this stuff all the time. Tiny choices over time bring big results. Tiny choices over time bring big results. See, compounded interest is powerful. One of the smartest men that ever lived, Einstein, said that, quote, compounded interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Put some money away and it's going to begin to make more money for you. And that new money starts making money. And, basically in the investment field, your money should double every 10 years. So the more time you give it. Now, if you start late, so what? You got to get started sometime, right? You can't go back to being 28. You see, that money starts making money and it keeps going on and on. If you want to prosper financially, then invest in yourself every paycheck. And did I just hear you think that I don't make enough money to invest anything? Well, really, you can't afford not to. You can't afford not to. Cutting out that one specialty coffee a workday will save you $100 a month. Isn't that right? They're $5. That one store, $5. You know what I'm saying? Invest that or figure something else out. It all adds up. Stop cheating yourself. Physically and financially. Luke 16, we're going to read 10 and 11 from the Phillips. It says, the man who is faithful in the little things will be faithful in the big things. And the man who cheats in the little things will cheat in the big things too. So that if you are not fit to be trusted to deal with the wicked wealth of this world, who's going to trust you with the true riches? It's one short life, folks. He that's faithful in little is faithful in much. It's the little things. People have always known this. It's all through the Bible. Whatever you put your hand to do, do it with thy might. Everything, you do the best you can all the time. Make the right decision. Cookie or no cookie. You see? Oh, it's too cold to walk today. Well, so what? Do something. If you can't walk outside, walk around the house. Do something. Do a push-up. Whatever. Invest in yourself. There's another few things that we can do slowly that are going to absolutely change our lives for the better. And I'm going to name some of them. One is invest in others. Invest in others. Most networking groups know beyond a shadow of a doubt the law of giver's gain. or the more you give, the more you receive. They all know that. They say it every week if you're a part of a networking group. It's all about if you help somebody else prosper, typically you're going to prosper. It works. It always works. It's worked for as many years as people have tracked it. Quote, "You can give without loving, but you can never love without giving." Robert Louis Stevenson. You can never love without giving. Giving is love. Love is giving. Give to yourself, but also give to others. We need that outflow. Luke 6:38 from the Message says, "Give away your life, and you'll find life given back." But not merely given back with bonus and blessing. Giving, not getting, is the way. Generosity begets generosity. See, it can be termed, we reap what we sow. Or as my wife always says, what goes around comes around. It's all the same thing. What you give is what you get. Cast your bread on the waters, and in many days it's going to come back. What you plant is what you reap. Quote, "Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love." Lao Tzu, ancient Chinese philosopher. Galatians 6:7-10 from the King James. "Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith." And that's a pretty huge household. There's billions of people in that household. It's not just people in your church or your little networking group or your family. Be good unto all. Take the time to invest in others. It's a great key. See, tiny choices over time bring big results. Don't you like to do business with people who do business with you? Yeah. So if you're being especially good, could that also mean doing business with them? Sure. It just works. This is a lifestyle change. It's giving more than you expect. It's investing in yourself more than you've ever done before. And now I'm going to go to a section called Words Make a Difference. And this could be the single greatest point of this teaching. And I think if we can handle what I'm about to teach, then this will change our life. But it's not sexy. It's not fun, but it's effective. And everybody who tries this faithfully over time will be the person they dream of being. It's making a daily habit of reading or listening to audio self-help books, period. Every day, listen to something, read something. You choose the book. I got a stack of them right here. I'll show you in a minute. It's that compounding effect again. It's reading. See, reading for one day won't change your life. Not reading for a day isn't going to change your life. But reading uplifting positives every single day will absolutely add to your personal self-esteem. You will think different. You can't help it because you're putting all that good stuff into your head. If you always hear this junk coming out of your mouth, it's because we're not putting enough good stuff into our heads. It's not rocket science. You see, the great self-development book called The Slight Edge by the author Jeff Olson, it states, quote, "I could tell you that if you would agree to read 10 pages of one of these good books every single day, over time, you could not help but accumulate all the knowledge that you'd ever need to be as successful as you could ever want to be. Like a penny over time, reading 10 pages a day would compound just like that and create inside you a $10 million bank of knowledge. If you kept this up for a year, you would have read 3,650 pages, the equivalent of 1 or 2 dozen life-transforming materials. You know, would your life have changed? Absolutely. No question. End of quote. See, what you sow is what you reap. What you sow is what you reap. What are we allowing to go into our heads? If you want more out of life, you got to put more good stuff in. You want more in your bank account, put more money in. You want a better health, put more work into having better health. Walk a little bit more, start jogging, do something. You know, if we sow what we reap, if we sow godly, healthy, inspirational, and motivational thoughts, what do you think we're going to reap? We're going to reap more godly, inspirational, motivational things. It's going to be great stuff happening. How would you like to have no lack whatsoever in your life? How would you like to have no lack whatsoever in your life? 1 Thessalonians 4:11 and 12 from the King James answers that. It says, "And that ye study to be quiet, and to do your own business, and to work with your own hands, as we commanded you, that ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that ye may have lack of nothing." That ye may have lack of nothing. But we have to understand what that study to be quiet means. The term study to be quiet means to be a valued friend to yourself. Be of value to yourself. Be a friend to yourself. Or it could mean to put in enough consistent mental effort to keep your mind at peace. It just takes daily diligence. It's every day putting those good thoughts into your head. The Bible's a great book, but it shouldn't be your only one. And it may cut across the grains of your mind, but there's a lot of great stuff out there. Sometimes we get numb to reading the same thing over and over. Invest in yourself. It's a major step in lacking nothing. Be of value to yourself. Quote, "We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves." Dalai Lama. See, the people who faithfully spend a few minutes a day reading or listening to books or reading the 10 pages a day, like this one author, Jeff Olson, said, you got to read the comments on that. Everybody is just glowing. Their life changes. They just go through this whole reading list, this whole stack of books, and they're different within a year. They've lost weight within a year because it's all tied together. Your health, your life, your finances, your weight, it's all an ethos. It's all a philosophy of living, but it's leading captive every thought. It's controlling every thought. Am I going to eat that cookie or am I not? Am I going to invest this week or am I not? The answer should be yes. Am I going to invest in myself? Am I going to be of value to myself? See, the people who faithfully spend a few minutes a day reading or listening to books will elevate their thinking, and over time, they're going to see amazing personal results. Folks, this stuff works. This is the reason that we have not been getting our prayers answered, because we're not doing our part to that. We want God to just throw good health on us, to shove money in our pockets, to somehow miraculously win the lottery. Quote, "The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them." Mark Twain. Now, if you're not in a habit of reading books and you can't do 10 pages a day, yeah, do 5. Pick up something. Borrow one of these. I don't care. See, books like, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You see, some of you, we've seen that for years, right? You see, The Magic of Thinking Big. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. The Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino. I remember reading that when I was a teenager. I still have the quotes running through my head. Persist until you succeed. You see, The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And The Slight Edge. Turning simple disciplines into massive success and happiness. And I'm just now started reading this. Somebody gave it to me. It's incredible. And then there's one that we all know and love. It's called the Bible, authored by God. By God. You see, reading a few pages every day adds up. It's just compounded interest, folks. It starts multiplying in your mind and heart, and things start working better. Your mind works better. Your body works better. Everything works better. You remember that one verse? He sent His word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. That's what the word does. It heals you from the inside out. Reading positive stuff heals you from the inside out. You make better decisions. You attract good stuff to you. You attract good people to you because they want to be around you. That's why people like dogs. They come home and that thing's licking them and trying to jump up on them. And as irritating as they might get, they're still digging it because they feel loved and wanted. Be that way for somebody else. Reading is a necessary step in investing in yourself. You're all literate. And if you can't read, then go to the library and check out an audio book. All this stuff is on audio books. Do something every day. Listen for 15 minutes. Drive to work and put it in your iPhone or your smartphone. You can download all that stuff to your phone. Your library is all connected to audio books. You can just type it in and it's there. And you can drive around all day listening to good stuff. You will be different. You want to be different. I hear your prayers. You want more than you have. The reason we don't have it is because we're not faithful to the little things, to the incremental changes. Like Milo picked up the calf. Next day, picked it up. Next day, the next month. Pretty soon, he could pick up a full-grown ox. Progressive resistance training, but do it financially. Do it physically. Do it emotionally. Do it with your heart. Do it with your spouse. Do it with your finances. See, words make a big difference. Remember, God sent His word and healed them and delivered them. That's Psalm 107:20. See, let's put on words that uplift, that heal, that direct us toward our ultimate goal. Quote, be true to yourself. Help others. Make each day your masterpiece. Make friendship a fine art. Drink deeply from good books, especially the Bible. Bring a shelter against a rainy day. Give thanks for your blessings and pray for guidance every day. Coach John Wooden. See, Rome wasn't built in a day. The best time to get started with your new and amazing life is when? Now, today. Don't feel bad because you didn't do it before, or if you already are doing this, great. Then just turn off this tape right now. Unplug. Quote, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Chinese proverb. You see, we may not be able to change our life in one day, but we can change our life direction in an instant. If you haven't yet, get started reading, get started listening, get started saving, get started on the road to better health. Do something every day to better yourself financially, physically, mentally, friendship-wise, every way. But it starts with what you're putting in. So put in the greatest, most uplifting stuff you possibly could. It starts with the Bible, but then goes to all these other books that are crazy inspirational. You see, we're going to succeed as we discipline ourselves to do the boring stuff. That self-improvement stuff, each and every day, 365 times a year, all the time, leading captive every thought. And this is where most goals meet their end. The fit things get thrown off. Your shoes get dust on them. Our books just end up in a garage sale. Have the daily discipline to do what you set out to do. You want to lose weight? Get started today. You want to get in better health? Start walking a little bit if you can't run. If you're running, then do something a few times a week. Not enough to hurt yourself, and then build up to it. You know, whatever it is, go to the gym, do something. Get on an elliptical. I don't care. Get on a stationary bike. Do a push-up. Do 5. Do sit-ups. It doesn't matter. Do something and your will change. Why does life seem to work for some people while the majority of others struggle? There's a reason. Tiny choices over time bring big results. We each hold the power of life and death in our hands. We hold the power of good and evil in the palms of our hands. It's all about daily disciplined choices. We all know what we're supposed to do. The hard part is doing it every day because it's boring. It's just boring. You see, Deuteronomy 30, 11 through 15 from the Message says, "This commandment that I'm commanding you today isn't too much for you. It's not out of your reach. It's not on a high mountain. You don't have to get a mountain climber to the peak and bring it down to your level and explain it before you can live it. It's not across the ocean. You don't have to send a sailor out to get it and bring it back and then explain it before you can live it. No. The word is right here, right now, as near as the tongue in your mouth, as near as the heart in your chest. Just do it. Look at what I've done for you today. I've placed in front of you life and good, death and evil. Folks, it's our choice. It's our choice. Are we going to keep doing things the same? We're going to get the same results. We all know what we need to do. We just need to do it every single day. No excuses. Never make an excuse for your failure. Just get better. When you stumble, what do? Get back up. I ask you again, is anyone born a success? Is anyone born a failure? No. The difference between success and failure are the tiny choices we repeat over a lifetime, no matter our upbringing, no matter our age, and no matter our education. We can reset our results. Small things matter. 2 Corinthians 10, 4 through 6 from the Message says, "The tools of our trade aren't for marketing or manipulation, but they're for demolishing that entire massively corrupt culture. We use our powerful God tools for smashing warped philosophies, tearing down barriers erected against the truth of God, fitting every loose thought and emotion and impulse into the structure of a life shaped by Christ. Our tools are ready at hand for clearing the ground of every obstruction and building lives of obedience into maturity." See, choose your habits wisely. What you do when no one is watching is your key to success. quote, "The right choices and the wrong choices you make at the moment will have little or no noticeable impact on how your day goes for you, nor tomorrow, nor the next day. No applause, no cheers, no screams, no life and death results played out in technicolor. But it's precisely those very same undramatic, seemingly insignificant actions that when compounded over time will dramatically affect how your life turns out." Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge. You ever wonder why some people have all the luck and seem to get all the breaks while others seem to just wish? Press their face against the glass of life watching all the good happen to everybody else? Well, there's a reason, or should I say a million tiny reasons. Life is all about choices, be it losing weight, getting in shape, or making more money, or just enjoying a better relationship with your friend or your spouse. It's those 1,000 tiny choices that you make every single day that make the difference. Tiny choices bring big results. God bless.